Saw this video last night and I thought I wanted to respond to it. This thing here about Trump responds to flock safety camera outrage. Keep it up, America. American patriots out there, the ones that are destroying those satanic devices and speaking out against them and everything else. People are sick and tired of this. I mean, this government, it's out of control. Doesn't matter, Trump, Democrats, whatever. They're all just out of control. They're sitting there in their gold-plated everything, and while other people are out there suffering. I don't think that they're public servants anymore. But let's listen to what he says here. It's very interesting and prophetic as well.
There's a lot of debate right now about these license plate scanners that are going up across the country. They're called flock cameras. People are worried that the police might misuse them. Have you heard of them?
Yep.
Or what's your stance?
Well, it's being studied right now. You know, you have pros and cons, right? It's being studied right now. We'll have an answer sort of as to our views on it over the next couple of weeks.
So we're going to have a answer to this over the next couple of weeks. I know a lot of people are calling for these flock cameras to be recalled and taken down and everything else. And I think a reason for that is because the people are destroying them. So if people continue to destroy the flock cameras, they're losing lots of money. So I don't think the people are quite ready enough yet. You know, they haven't had enough false flag events to really convince them that they need flock cameras. I think the American people are sick and tired of the satanic government with all their surveillance things and whatever else. But now listen to what he says about this ballroom thing. This is very interesting.
John also said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, John Alsop?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation, the Oval Office, and it was let go. The whole building, the White House, was let go. The exteriors were falling apart. The columns were falling apart. The whole place was a mess. In addition, they've been trying to get a ballroom for the last 150 years. And when I said I was going to build a ballroom, the military asked if they could see me. And they say, sir, we have an opportunity to go down deep into the ground and build a military facility to go with the White House and to go with all of Washington, D.C., which would be so valuable. And then they came up with the drone port on top, which would be a major drone port to protect the White House and all of D.C.
A drone port to protect the White House? Gaza, excuse me. Just going to send out the drones to attack people. Almost like the government's going to keep doing things and do things that are even worse in the future, and people are going to want to try to overthrow the White House. So let's harden the facility. You know, it doesn't sound like something a public servant would do. You know, and you got to love how it's we are building it, we and everything. Oh, you mean the American taxpayers' money that you're in there just spending frivolously? Let's head towards 40 trillion in debt.
Nice.
Let's continue to hear what he says here about this underground hardened facility.
Yeah.
And all of those things added up, and it became much more than just a ballroom. And I said to myself, wow, what an opportunity. I mean, if I was just going to build a ballroom, I could have had it built very quickly, because I build very well and very quickly. We went 5 stories down into the ground. We did a lot of tremendous things for the military.
5 stories down. Interesting number.
5 stories down. There's a saying that if you dig way down into the ground, there will be these weird creatures like devils and stuff down in there.
Oh, you're getting closer to hell, so what would you expect?
Yeah.
Let's finish up what he's saying here.
There are things that they could never get. They said this is an opportunity that we have because you're building the ballroom, that if you would be willing to spend more time, we would love to be able. We've been trying to do this at the White House for many, many years, and they've been trying to have a ballroom at the White House for many, many years. Now, what happened is we used to use tents, and the tents are usually made of either a plastic material, or canvas, and they wouldn't stop a .22 caliber. They wouldn't stop anything in terms of safety. It'd be very dangerous. And they haven't used a tent for years. They haven't had any big like we have President Xi coming on September 24th or so. I think it's September 24th. And we'd love
to look at his investment, probably. She comes over and wants to see if he should, keep the dollar going and whatever else, or if they should dump the dollar and destroy the economy. Nothing like that. We're very strong. We have gold-plated things in the White House.
Plastic or canvas? Wow, I never knew that.
Yes, it's a smart thing. We didn't know tents were made out of canvas. Wow.
to have 2,000 people coming to dinner and celebrating a nice evening, etc., etc. But we only have a room that's going to hold 89 people, and 89 people is not appropriate. So maybe more importantly, it's totally secure with bulletproof windows, bulletproof sides. It's drone-proof. It's missile every at the top of the line, and we need it. And especially with what's happened, unfortunately, to the world, you could say.
Yeah, and who's the one causing that? Yeah, the war in Iran and all the other terrorism that this nation has been involved in. Yeah, we need it. We have to have it. It's just so important, whatever. Revelation chapter 6, verse 15. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men, and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Can't wait to see that day happen when weasels like Trump, if he makes it to that time, which is doubtful, but if he does, he's going to be hiding in his little dumb, deep underground military base down there. Oh, the Jesus that they hate so very much, they're going to be running away from him in the future. Never forget that as a Christian. All right, so that's going to be it. Look out for our public servants here, what they have planned for us in the future. Thank you for watching.